Good evening and welcome, everybody. I am Joe Maldonado. I'm Alder with the City of Fitchburg, and I just want to welcome you on behalf of the Common Council as well as our team assembled here and our staff at the City of Fitchburg to welcome you to our unveiling of the Teen Center Engagement Study. This is really a paradigm shift in the City of Fitchburg. And I would say um, we are starting this project off from the jump by voices of young people, the people who are going to be affected by the work that we're moving forward on. Nothing about us without us is a phrase that I'm going to take a moment to just point out the agenda to you. So we are going to be going through introductions with our team, Equity by Design, as well as our Teen Center interns who are part of our planning team. And after that, we will give a project overview. So we'll tell you what this entire project is about. And then finally, we'll wrap up with questions and have a feedback session. I will be here until about 7:45, but our team will be here until 8. We're really excited to have you. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is introduce a very talented person and somebody whose work is really well known here in Dane County for really including voices that aren't often included in projects. Annette Miller is the founder and CEO of Equity by Design, a firm focused on building projects and gathering community input on major projects. So I'll pass it off to Annette to kick off the agenda.
All right. Thank you so much, Alder Joe Maldonado. It's so great to be here virtually with you. To all of you watching, I am super excited because we have a great group of people who are helping us do this work on behalf of the City of Fitchburg. You know, our goal is we want to make a teen center that is inclusive and welcoming and has programming that really builds healthy lives, healthy hearts, and healthy community. And so we can't do that unless we have great voices representing youth. And so the first thing that we did when getting this project is we worked with our planning team and we said, we can't do this unless we have youth leading this. So in an unprecedented moment, instead of Equity by Design sort of being in the front, doing the engagement, we're actually going to have the youth from the area be in front. And Equity by Design is going to really play the role of coach and mentor. So I'm really excited about that. But it's really going to be the youth that you're going to be introduced to who are going to really drive the engagement. They're going to be the one going into the community and talking to youth and talking to families and talking to people in the community about what they'd like to see for this very important space that can be an asset and a jewel, not only for Fitchburg, but the surrounding and adjacent communities. So with that, let's introduce you to our youth and student interns. So first, we have up Adeline.
Hello, I'm Adeline. I'm a junior at Oregon High School. I want to be part of this internship because it will promote education as well as diversity, and it will take into consideration the opinions of teens. I also want to have a safe space where there's resources for self-growth, as well as job opportunities and mental health services. With this teen center, we are able to reach many teens, and I want to make sure that all opinions are taken into consideration from all voices and not just mine. I personally go to an all-white school where there's little to no minority representation, and through this teen center, me and many other teens who feel the same way will be able to come into the space and feel represented.
Hello, my name is Nevaeh, and I'm a freshman at Verona Area High School. I'm honored to be working on this team and I'm very excited to work on design for the Teen Center so people who don't feel like they belong in the community can find a place in the space we create.
Awa is also one of our members, but she wasn't able to make it tonight. She is a senior at Memorial High School, and we're excited to have her on the team.
Hi, I'm Fatima. I'm an eighth grader and I go to Savannah Oaks Middle School. I'm very excited to be helping the community. Marcus is also another member of the team, but he isn't here and he goes to JC Wright Middle School.
Hi, I'm Ojasi and I'm a junior at Area High School, and I'm really looking forward to working with a diverse group of people to create a space where teens can feel safe and included.
Hi, my name is Jayla Rose. I'm a junior and I attend East High School. I've always been into self-care, mentally and physically, so I want to create a place where teens can feel vulnerable and want to express themselves.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I go to Savannah Oaks, and we're most excited about teens with their age giving people a place where they can connect and share their groups.
So if you aren't excited, you guys, this is so exciting to have this group of talented youth being a part of this project. When we did the interviews, the original goal was just to identify 5 student interns, but we were so blown away by the talent that came and expressed interest in wanting to be a part of this. We said, we got to take all 8. So you all just met these 8 interns who are going to be a part of this project. So next, you know, without a great group of youth leading in the work, you've got to have some folks who coach and mentor them through the process. So let's introduce the planning team. So of course, you met Alder Joe Maldonado. We also have our great Wade Thompson, who is the director in planning. Wade, please share some things.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. Again, as folks have mentioned, it's a really exciting project, and I think we'll really break some ground in Fitchburg. So yeah, I'm Wade Thompson, community development planner with the city. My role throughout the project will kind of be the staff connection between City Hall and the consultant team. So yeah, certainly looking forward to kicking it off tonight.
And of course, the reason you are seeing us live and streaming is because of the great crew at Fact TV for Fitchburg. So I want to give a shout out to Jeremy and Andrew as they take care of us virtually. So thank you. And then of course, we have Taylor Seal.
Hi everybody, my name is Taylor Steele and I'm a community youth educator with UW Extension. I'm so honored to be a part of this project and to be working with such an amazing group of youth interns. Thanks so much.
All right. And then of course we have Eli Sorofsky with the Healthy Kids Collaborative. Come on up.
Hello everyone, my name is Eli Sorofsky. I'm a medical member serving with the Healthy Kids Collaborative. I'm really honored to be a part of this really cool project and to be a part of this amazing team.
And I just want to give a shout out to Eli because the reason these youth were so amazing in introducing themselves is because he did a great job of coaching them and practicing with them tonight. And of course, youth are just magical all on their own. The things that they were sharing in terms of why they're so excited to be a part of this project was amazing. So you only got just a little snippet of what we got to hear as they were practicing. As we said, Equity by Design is the design consultant on behalf of the city of Fitchburg, but it's really in support of the youth. But of course, you know, Equity by Design is not one person, it's a team. So I'd really like to introduce Myra Medrano and Matthew Brongen, who are here with us virtually. If you all can step up and introduce yourselves, I would love it. Why don't we have you lead off, Myra?
Hello, folks. Good evening. My name is Myra Medrano. I'm the Equity by Design engagement person on the project. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the interns. Let me know how I can assist. I am very, very happy to start this project off on a good night of engagement.
And I'm Matthew Brongen. I help out a lot with engagement partnerships and am going to be monitoring the Facebook chat tonight and dropping in important links. And if you have any questions or comments that you would like to have relayed, make sure to put them there if you are on Facebook Live, and I'll make sure that folks are getting them. I'm excited to be here and to work with interns as well.
All right. Thanks so much, team. So, of course, not only did you want to meet the student interns, which, ta-da, here they are, woo, woo, but you want to know about this project. What about this teen center? So I'm going to turn it back over to our alder, Joe Maldonado, to really kick us off with an overview, starting with the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative, and walk us through what it is that's going to be happening over the next 9 months. All right, Joe.
Sure. So I'll start off by saying that there's a lot of really good evidence and data that shows the need for youth engagement. Different studies such as the Dane County Youth Assessment, which is held every 3 years, a survey of all middle and high school students across Dane County, as well as the Race to Equity report, and many of studies that have been done through the city of Fitchburg, demonstrates a clear need to have youth programming. Having youth programming during out of school time is essential for young people. It increases the likelihood of leadership, sense of involvement, high school graduation, as well as post-secondary achievement, access to college, and sustaining careers. It also reduces the risk of mental health issues, involvement in the justice system, and absenteeism. So this is something that there's clear evidence of, particularly in the neighborhood that we're talking about. Again, as mentioned, I'm on the city council. I've served since 2020, and I represent the northwestern part of Fitchburg, which includes the Allied Duns Marsh neighborhood, as well as the King James neighborhood. One thing that people often talk about is food deserts, places where there's a lack of access to healthy foods, but there's also youth center deserts. There's places where there are less options for young people in the after school space. And when we look at the landscape of Dane County as a whole, oftentimes our community centers skew younger, which is needed. There's a need to be able to serve elementary school age students and early middle school students, but there's a real lack of programming and spaces for youth who are later in middle school as well as in high school. The real sign that Fitchburg uses to indicate where there is a need is through the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative. I'll give a little snippet of it, but I'll really let Wade do a lot of the digging, the explaining behind it, since as city staff, he's really been a champion for the H&I grant. So the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative identifies 3 neighborhoods in the city of Fitchburg that have disparities based on health, income, transportation, youth services, and other measures, and really hones in on ensuring that there are resources available and that there are best practices available to be able to serve and allow those neighborhoods to thrive. So 2 of them are actually in the area that we're discussing, the Allied Duns Marsh neighborhood, as well as the King James neighborhood. And the other is the Leopold neighborhood along Fish Hatchery Road. So by making a concerted effort in really putting resources into the neighborhoods that have the highest level of need, we're really investing in our city. We're investing in the infrastructure of our city, and we're investing in the people of our city. We also have a Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative grant, as well as a committee that reviews and distributes funds to organizations that work specifically within the neighborhood. But this is a project that's a lot, I would say, larger, permanent, and more foundational, in that we're developing a permanent space where young people can gather and where the community can gather, where people can make connections. So I'll pause there and I'll pass it off to Wade in case there's anything that I missed or anything that needs to be filled in.
Yeah, thanks, Alder Maldonado. A great overview. I don't have a whole lot to add. I do just want to point out a couple things as we talk about the H&I, our neighborhood initiative. We did adopt as a city a strategic plan in 2019. So that's really kind of our guiding document as we work towards doing better as a city in those 3 neighborhoods. And the slide you see in front of you is from that plan. Those are our pillar principles. So really, again, kind of our guiding elements as we work to develop and implement that initiative. And I do want to point out, just kind of wrapping up, we're here tonight to talk about a place or creating a place out of kind of this conceptual space. And that's a huge part of our initiative. It's really about creating places in our 3 neighborhoods where residents, visitors can interact, can mingle, and really do constructive and productive things in our neighborhood. So again, a very important piece of our H&I, and again, looking forward to see where this all leads. So thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Alder Maldonado and Wade Thompson. I really appreciate you all being here tonight and really helping to give a framing around where this work originated from, which is the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative. So the next thing you must be wondering is, so what exactly is going to happen in this engagement process? So the next few slides, we're going to talk about what that looks like. So first and foremost, these are the strategies that we're going to use in terms of making sure that we have an inclusive and broad engagement where we really try to work to get reach. It's really important to understand that with COVID really disrupted the way in which people come together. So we're going to do our very best to try and straddle that new phenomenon and recognize that people are going to gather differently. So we'll be doing a combination of using technology, obviously our beautiful and talented teen interns, whoop, whoop. And then we're also going to be doing some small focus groups, and we're also going to have some public sessions, of which this is the first public session. This is what we're calling the open house. We wanted to really signal to the community that the project has started. We are going to get moving. And so this is one of those public sessions where we really want to try and inform the community. The other thing that we'll be doing is we will be using social media and social media strategies to be able to really reach out and let people know what's happening, when it's happening, and what they can do to stay in tune and in touch. But what you can expect next in terms of engagement from this project is, one, we had this open house where we're kicking it off and letting you know that it started. The next piece is that we are going to be having a survey that we're going to launch. And the interns are going to help us with developing those questions. And then we're going to put that survey online. We'll have hard copies. We'll have a PDF sitting out available for folks. And then people can fill out that survey. And the purpose of that survey is to help give us an understanding of what people value. Like, what does the community value? What's going to be really important? And we're going to use those values to develop themes. And then we're going to take those themes and we're going to work with small focus groups to try and make sure that we make a connection between what people say they want and then, but what does it really look like? When people say, I want programming, well, what kind of programming? Who should be doing the programming? How much space do you need for programming? Is the programming happening at the teen center, or is it happening with a partner? Or and a partner could be a school, or it could be some community asset that's available near where the teen center would be built. So we need to have an understanding behind ideas that are shared. Or when people say that I want to feel welcomed and included, well, how do you know you're welcome and included? Some people might say the way in which they're greeted when they come into the building. Some people might say, well, I want to make sure that it's in the language that I speak, that I don't have to try and figure it out. Some people might say it's because of the artwork and the design and the way, the pathways that get me into the space. It could be the type of programming that's set up at the space. It can be the people who are inside the building or outside of the building talking about the space. So we need to be sure that when people give us insight, that we're really clear as a system, as an organization, that we really know what that means. And so we'll be working with small groups to try to make that connection between ideas and what those ideas look like in action. And then we'll take those ideas and then we're going to put it into a public workshop and we'll share it with the community and we'll have a conversation about what people think. How does this align with the project goals, and how does this feel to the different stakeholders? But of course, and I want to be really clear, we are centering the youth. They ultimately are the ones who are going to tell us thumbs up, medium, or down. They are the ones to whom this space is being designed for. And then us adults are then going to be supportive, right? We're going to wrap our talent and our strength around youth ideas and make that vision come true. So you can expect that there should be a final report that'll be coming out from the engagement process, centering the work of these student interns, centering the voice of the people that we engage, both youth, parents and family and guardians of youth, and the community who are here to support the youth. That's who we're going to be bringing those ideas from. And then that will be put into a final report for the council to take a look at and approve, so that we can get to the real important stage, which is really taking idea and really putting an infrastructure, an actual building in place. So that's what the schedule looks like in terms of what's happening today in December and what you can expect to happen over the next several months. So does anyone have any questions about what we've talked about? And Alder Maldonado, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add to what I've said, or Wade, if there's anything you want to add as well. Okay. Matthew, do we have any questions at all?
No, not from Facebook right now.
Okay.
And yeah, folks, if you have any questions on Facebook, go for it, and let us know throughout, so we can make sure to have that going on.
Okay. All right. So since we don't have any questions right now, what I'd like to do is, it's important that you engage with us and let us know what you're thinking. So what we did is we put together a Padlet that has a series of questions. And so Myra Medrano from our team is going to walk you through the Padlet process and how it works. So with that, I'm going to ask Taylor, do you think you can bring up the Padlet for us? Do you think, or because I'm not sure if Myra, because we need to show it. Okay. So we're going to bring up the Padlet so you all can see it.
Perfect.
All right. Turning it over to you, Myra.
All right. Thanks, Annette. Hello, everyone. So this, we're at a point of tonight's evening about engagement. So we heard from Annette, we heard from everybody that we really need to get people's input about what this teen center would look like. What is it that will make people to come? What is it that will make everybody feel welcome and as the gathering spot for the city of Fitchburg? So as you can see, there's a Padlet. This Padlet is a tool. It's a tool that Equity by Design uses with projects around the teen center, for example. Now, as you can see, there are 5 questions on here. Each question has an opportunity to provide input. Now, we really want folks to feel very candid, feel very open to giving us input regarding the Padlet. If you have the Padlet up on your screen, on your phones, on your laptop, you'll see in the first column, orange-ish question says, what excites you most about the teen center? Underneath that box, you'll find a plus sign. If you want to make a comment about what excites you about the teen center, feel free to hit that plus sign and add your comment. The second question, what would be happening at the space as you show up, is the next question. So just listing the questions by one so that it could get the juices flowing. The third question, the purple box, who, how, or what is happening in or at this center to make it feel welcoming and inclusive. The next question, the blue box, what does a teen-oriented, community-centered space offer? The last question, is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything else that you would like to add to the questions that have been posed here? Perhaps there's something that we haven't asked yet that is on your mind. So we'll take this opportunity for folks to really think about how to answer these individual questions. Now, Annette, do folks have access to the Padlet link, or do folks have opportunities to go online and hit that plus sign? Hey, Annette. So we do have a question, but if we want to go straight to the Padlet, we can.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do with the Padlet. Again, like I said, the purpose of this was to kick things off. We want people to know what tool we have available right now prior to the survey being launched to gather information. And so this tool is what you can use. And if you want to be able to access the Padlet, it will be, the link is in the Facebook chat, and then also it is on the slide deck. But the way to get to it is padlet.com/EQT by design/2021 December DEC Teen Center. So we'll make these links available for the community so that you can be able to have access to it. So as you can see, you will notice that some folks are starting to fill the Padlet and add comments, which is great. This Padlet and this form will be out for a while. We did have somebody ask the question about what are some of the ideas that the teens have about this teen center. So I'm going to let them come up themselves and share some of the thoughts that they already had when we did some brainstorming at one of our meetings. So any one of you who's willing to come up, you can just share some ideas that came up as part of that process.
So one of the things that we were thinking about is creating a space where we value mental health, and just like one of our ideas was maybe having like therapists or counselors available at the teen center for people who need them, and also just like having a space that's very warm and welcoming and having lots of windows to let natural light in, because I know personally for me that's very soothing. Great. We also want to create a safe space where people can be themselves, where they feel safe, and where they can express themselves and not be afraid of any questions or anything. So that's definitely one of our main values.
Something else that we really want to have available is educational resource support, so tutoring, access to Wi-Fi, computers, books, anything like that that might like help a school or sort of like.
One of our ideas that we have for design would be like a mural that allows for everybody to have a little space of them just to express themselves. Another idea we had was for people to be able to come and find jobs easily and to support them to find jobs at a young age.
Another idea we had for also great person to have fun.
All right, so as you can see, they already have some ideas that are percolating in terms of, from their perspective, what would they like to see. And what was really powerful about the conversation is just how much thought they gave, not only about what would be meaningful and impactful for them, but there was a deep conversation at our last session where they were really thinking about who else can be impacted by this teen center. And so, you know, things that they were talking about were, you know, people being able to share their ideas, that this really is an opportunity for community to come together, that there's also help from the community, but then they can also be helping the community. So it goes both ways. And then really creating a relationship. That's the most important thing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of interesting narratives that are really, quite frankly, a stigma for youth. There's a lot of people and adults who sometimes are intimidated, don't understand or misunderstand, or just, you know, really don't understand the headspace that young people can be in, because as adults, we're too in our heads being adults. And so there can be a really big disconnect between what's happening from their point of view and what's happening from ours. And so I think a really important thing that's coming from this opportunity is an ability to create relationships and to change the narrative about the role of humans. We're all people, we're all human, we all have something to offer, and we need to make sure that the resources are there in order for us to be our full, whole selves. And based on what I've seen so far, just in like 2 meetings, I think we're going to do some amazing work. And so I'm really excited to work with the youth and also work with the community, so we can really develop this asset into something that will be really special for everyone, but mainly for the youth. And so with that, as you can see on the Padlet, you can already see that people are adding really interesting ideas. Youth being involved in the design process, the need it will fill, the benefit it will bring to the Jamestown neighborhood, investment in the youth in the area, community building, as well as getting youth invested in our community, giving teens a place for productive activities, music, social connections, food, meals, interactive learning, study sessions, fun games, and events where friends can go. You already heard this place isn't going to be special if it's going to be all work and no play. You've got to be able to laugh. You've got to be able to have fun. You have to be able to, quite frankly, be free. And sometimes when you're at home with your parents or your family and your guardians, you don't necessarily feel free. You feel like that kid of that household. So at a teen center, you can just be who you are. And that's what's really important about having a space that really fits for where you are. And even at school, though school can be a great place and a great resources, there also can be tensions at school as well, because it's about the work. It's about going to class and studying and grades and, you know, trying to see if you fit in and whatnot. But at a teen center, this is about you. It's about you just showing up and being whoever you need to be at that moment. And there's no expectations except what you bring and what you want and the relationships that you can have in that space. And I think as adults, we really forget that. When we go to work, what do we do when we need a break? Some of us do go home, but some of us go to other spaces, right? Teens need other spaces too, so that they can be themselves, and they don't always have to be on for adults. Teens have to be on at home. They have to be on at school. They have to be on if they're working. But when they're at the teen center, they can just be them. And I just think that that's a really important thing for all of us as the adults in these youth lives to remember and never forget, because we want space, we need to give them space too. So some other ideas that are on the Padlet are public events, not just for teens, but all ages. So of course, let's be welcoming, let's be inclusive. What's going to make that happen? Opportunities for youth to make the space their own, a variety of spaces, small and large, so people can have quiet conversations or big, loud conversations, to hang out, to study, to do active activities, or even just to meet up. It doesn't have to be the place that you stay at, but it can be the place that you start at and do other things. And of course, we always have the best question, is there anything else you want us to know? So during the course, of this project, this Padlet will be up probably for about a week, 2 weeks tops, because we really plan on getting our survey out in 2 weeks. So for now, this is the Padlet. These are the questions we're asking, and we really welcome your insight and your voice as you take this walk and journey with us to help find out what do we value and what's important. I don't have anything else to add. Here again is where the Padlet is, and this is how you can find it. And then again, if you want to stay connected with us, we also have a link. If you go to tinyurl.com/FTeen Center 1221, we'll collect your information, and then we'll make sure that we keep you in the loop as we continue to progress with the project. That's all we have for you tonight. The whole purpose was to let you know who's part of this project. Most importantly, the teens are a part of it. They're going to be driving this work and telling us what to do, and we're going to be supporting them. We wanted you to understand that we're officially started, that we've got a plan, we've got a strategy, we've got a great planning team working on this, and we really look forward to seeing you all out either online or in the community over the next 6 months as we gather information for this Fitchburg Teen Center. Feel free to reach out to us. I just want to do a quick check with Matthew to see if there was anything that came up through Facebook.
Nothing that we can't talk about offline. Andre Johnson is offering support and services for the center and everything, so we can connect a little bit later and do that. But yeah, and he said thank you to all the youth interns as well.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you. We appreciate that. All right, well, Wade, is there anything that you would want to add as the city of Fitchburg that we missed or need to know?
Nope, I think you covered everything, so.
All right, well, as they say in the film business, that's a wrap, everybody. We really look forward to seeing you in the community as we do this project, and be sure to connect with us. We'll stay in touch with you. Have a good night.